What's going on, everyone? It's Cam here, Senior National Training Manager at Diode LED, and this is our next reel-to-reel on the ODX, so OMNIDRIVE X, utilizing a new Athena Wireless Node. This is reel-to-reels like typical, right? These are 15-minute deep dives, bringing reels of tape light or real product to real life. And so I'm very excited about today. This is just more of a quick update, but we are going to go a little bit deep into what the Athena wireless control system is. When I say deep, just at least explaining what it is and then how this new product option kind of allows you to play with this integratable control system. So we'll jump over to the slides here, start talking about some of the higher level specs. So today, again, we had an OMNIDRIVE X reel-to-reel, I think maybe 2 or 3 reel-to-reels ago, maybe a couple months ago. And so obviously, if you are interested in learning more about the OMNIDRIVE X, I would check out that reel-to-reel. It's going to be already uploaded on our YouTube channel, Diode LED, under the reel-to-reel playlist or series. So that's going to give you all of the kind of technical specs on why this is my favorite driver in the industry by far. And like we always say about drivers, it's like customer service. We can tell you all day long how good our customer service is, but until you start working with us, it's lip service. It really means nothing. We have to prove it to you. Same thing with drivers. Until you start using it and you find out that it is rock solid, I get it, it's lip service, but OMNIDRIVE X is one of the best drivers on the market by far. It's going to get you out of every bind. And as we all know, with low voltage component LED tape light systems, one of the first things that's going to go wrong is the driver, and then maybe second would be like connection errors. What we did though recently is we updated the OMNIDRIVE X to have an option where you can utilize a Athena Wireless Node, an AWN, that is integrated into the OMNIDRIVE X in 2 different ways that we'll talk about here in a second for 0 to 10 volt control. So some of the high-level specs or high-level talking points, I would say, or sales points, is you're still getting that reliability of the OMNIDRIVE X driver technology. Okay, so keep that in mind. You're getting a rock-solid, bullet-proof, really a lot of technical engineering that went into this driver. And then you're also getting that high-performance 0 to 10 volt dimming with wireless control. And so as we all know, with 0 to 10 volt, there's obviously a reason to utilize this dimming protocol, specifically for commercial grade buildings. You get very, very smooth dimming performance. And so that's why we wanted to obviously integrate the already existing 0 to 10 volt dimming technology that we had integrated into our universal OMNIDRIVE X, and now kind of taking that OMNIDRIVE X technology with just 0 to 10 volt integrated into this Athena wireless control. And again, you get that integratable Athena Wireless Node. And so something that is some of the marketing behind these wireless nodes is that they are coin size. And you'll see here in a second when we go through the demo how small these little nodes are. But before we get to the demo, I'm going to talk about a little bit of some of the benefits and use cases of why you would use the Athena wireless system if you're not using it as of right now. Maybe you don't know what this type of control system is. We'll talk a little bit about that before we move on to the specs for OMNIDRIVE X. And then getting that optional auxiliary power included. So this is probably going to be, if you're going to integrate the OMNIDRIVE X into a larger Athena wireless control system, I would say that maybe 80 to 90% of the time you're going to be utilizing the auxiliary power included. This makes it much easier for install. You're already getting the power there. I'll show you the difference here. It also allows you to have a much smaller low pro junction box versus if you use the non-auxiliary power option, it's a little bit larger of a low pro panel box, junction box, I should say. So Athena wireless control system, what is it? Right? I figured that even though we are not Lutron, we are Diode LED, that you need to at least understand what the Athena wireless control system is before we move on here. So I want to talk about some of the key components and features of the Athena wireless control system. So one, you get that Athena wireless node. So this is a very small coin-sized device. It's really installed in or on individual light fixtures. So what this does is it adds wireless capabilities, allowing each fixture to be individually addressed and controlled, okay? Then also a wireless processor. So this is really a device that is kind of more, I would say, the brains of the system. It's still very low profile. I actually like how sleek it looks, but it connects the individual nodes and other wireless devices. So like sensors, occupancy sensors, all these different little devices within one system. And so if you are a Lutron dealer, you're utilizing Lutron, what I like about the Athena wireless control system is that they made it where it's kind of it crosses over into both the Type X or catcher fixtures, as well as what they call their Clear Connect Type A. So that's like their Pico remotes and sensors and wireless protocols. So this is not a system that you have to use with just Ketra. You could use this with Pico as well, a little bit more versatile in nature. Okay, also, like I talked about here, Ketra integration. So this is big for if you are utilizing Ketra out there. This is now allowing you to utilize other types of different hardware that Lutron offers and then be able to integrate that into a Ketra system for things like tunable light fixtures, dynamic high quality, full spectrum types of fixtures and things like that. And then also, if you are utilizing any Lutron shades, this can play with Lutron shades as well. So that's a big one, being able to now integrate not only Ketra, Pico, but then also the various shade options that Lutron offers. Okay, and then cloud connectivity. And so give me one second here. Yeah, cloud connectivity. So this is really a big one, allowing the different things like building managers to be able to kind of remote in and be able to do the management of the system, data analytics, and then they can also find out kind of pertinent information on the occupancy that's being involved in the project, the energy reporting, all these things that can help inform these decisions later on where they need to maybe have it be more energy efficient, where they need to be able to have it a little bit brighter in certain sections. It's all that remote cloud connectivity and dashboard. And then intuitive app control. So something that I've checked out, at least in some of my research, is that I really do believe that the user interface that Lutron has integrated in with Athena Wireless Control is very, very friendly, very intuitive, and being able to utilize this for programming, real-time scene customization, the control of the lighting and shades. And then being able to take a lot of the existing wireless or wired sensors that Lutron offers and being able to integrate that into the Athena wireless control system. So for occupancy, vacancy, ambient light levels, and in this feature also you can do daylight harvesting, so where you kind of automatically adjust those electric light levels, and then also you can really take advantage of that natural light when integrating this with the Lutron shades on the project. And then last couple things here is just talking about really the benefits of the system. I think this is more important on why you should be integrating, if you are going to integrate Athena wireless controls, right? Why you should do this, what are the selling points? And so to me, from my research, going deep dive into the AWN system, it's really the unrivaled flexibility. So being able to allow designers to change and rezone lighting layouts at any point before, during, or after the installation without having to run new wiring. That's a big one. So because these nodes are being wired at the driver level, right, very early on in the system design, now if changes need to be made, you're not pulling large data cable to all of these different sections and fixtures and zones throughout the project, and now you have to rewire, pull those wires back, or add new data cable wiring management and stuff. All of it's done at more the local driver level, which really gives you flexibility in design. And then also streamline installation. So this is another big one. Obviously, that first point about the being able to not have to pull wiring if you want to redesign, that's big for installers. But also these fixtures, they're pre-enabled with wireless nodes, right? So the installation process is so much more simplified. It's only requiring power to be connected. That's it. So this saves on time, reducing building materials, minimizes like different things like disruptions. It's really, really user-friendly when it comes to and streamlined in that installation. And then it enhanced user experience. So it's another big one from my research. It is if you are going to get into really high-end human-centric tunable white systems, this is a great control system to use, and it can automatically adjust like the light intensity, the color temperatures, the mimic the sun cycles, and so it's really intuitive in that way. I would say very much to push towards large-scale tunable white systems on commercial-grade projects is where you would want to use something like the Athena wireless control system. And then scalability. So this is the best way, the terms that they like to use on Lutron's website is that it's a modular architecture. So this allows the system to easily grow from just a single room or a floor to an entire building or campus. And that's what I love about it, is that it's not just meant for those massive campus projects. You can do this in even single building zones, like just the offices or just the reception area if you want, all the way up to the entire building. And then energy efficiency. So big one is, by integrating daylight sensors, different things like occupancy detection, the system can, automatically optimize lighting and shade positions to reduce energy and consumption. So it's very intuitive in that way, giving us that real-time feedback where we need to be able to have a little bit better, light output, where we can save on light output and be able to dim down the project in certain areas, just depending on the analytics that we get back from that from the system. Okay, and then future-proof. So being able to allow that it's cloud connected, right? It's you're kind of getting those continuous over-the-air software updates, ensuring that the new features and capabilities are added over time without needing new hardware. So that's another big one for me, is that being able to update this easily in the future if needed. Okay, so let's talk about now the high-level specifications for the OMNIDRIVE X utilizing that AWM, so Athena Wireless Node. So not too much of a difference in a lot of ways in the typical OMNIDRIVE X. Obviously, we're not getting that universal driver, so it's not going to be ELV, TRIAC, and 0 to 10 volt. You're only getting 0 to 10 volt dimming on this, and then 24 volts. And then you get that universal input of 110 all the way up to 270 volts in, okay, AC. You can still obviously get, depending on the dimmer, right, and the actual fixture, you can dim down still to 1% or dim to dark. Our OMNIDRIVE X with this AWM is UL listed. It's Title 24 JA8 compliant. Okay, the junction box is required, so keep that in mind. You do have to have this with a junction box. And then we have a couple options when it comes to wattage, a few options I should say. So 30 watts, 60 watts, or 96 watts, and both with or without the aux power. So you get all those three levels of wattage, but with or without the aux power. And then no minimum load, 5-year warranty. One thing I do want to touch on here is that as of right now, when you utilize our OMNIDRIVE X with the AWM node, this is for static white systems, okay? So you cannot utilize this yet for tunable white systems because it is integrating the AWM node versus if you AWM node with the specific type of Athena driver, you can only do static white systems. Now, we are working on in the future coming out with a DT8 driver that's going to be integrated, okay, so dolly driver that then allows you to be able to do robust, unique tunable white systems. I would say the main issue why is we didn't actually release this yet is because of being able to have enough room in those junction boxes. The DT8 driver is a little bit larger than the driver we're using right now, so it's just trying to find that space, and heat ventilation is very key, but you should expect that to be coming out here in the near future, being able to do larger tunable white systems. So I just want to mention this because this is something I was even confused on when I first started learning about this product, is that a lot of people are using the Athena wireless control system for both static white and tunable white. Okay, so you could have this through all of the different static white tape lights throughout, and then you could just integrate the DT8 driver for maybe some of the tunable white downlights that you have and other types of products that you have for now. Okay, and in the mechanical drawings, or diagrams I should say, is just wanted to show you, this is off of our spec sheet. So you'll notice here that you have the you have a pretty good size. They're not massive. I'm going to show you here in the demo what they actually look like. But you can see there, that's where that Athena node is kind of integrated into. And so keep in mind, something that I learned just today about this is that as of now, we cannot integrate this into our low pro panel boxes, okay? And there's a reason why. So the low pro panel boxes are obviously these large encased kind of aluminum metal types of boxes that we will do a design service. We will then take a look at your plans, do the driver loads, the calculations, wire everything up into these panel boxes, ship it out, and now it's not just plug and play. You can get it surface mounted or recessed, fits between two studs. You can stack them. We have a whole reel-to-reel on the low pro panel boxes that you can check out. The big thing is, though, we have to have some type of knockouts, okay, that are larger for that RF system. So it is still controlled by RF, and so you have to have some type of gap that can then have that signal pop through the junction box to be able to make that connectivity. So keep that in mind. These are not meant for our low pro panel boxes as of now, okay? So before we get to training opportunities, I wanted to just showcase here on the demo, okay? So what you're looking at here is you have obviously the larger panel, larger junction box here, and so you can see, you know, pretty much dim rail mounted with our OMNIDRIVE X. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. Okay, so you have our OMNIDRIVE X. Now the way this works is, now this is the actual driver for Athena and the nodes, and it's going to power the entire Athena system. So really what you would do is be using the OMNIDRIVE X for any of our linear lighting and tape light solutions. So you would bring 120 into the actual driver, then you have the low voltage coming out, and that would be powering any of the linear tape light that's on this system. Then you would bring 120 volt in to the actual driver here. This is for the Athena control system, the APV-12-12, and that is going to then power the nodes, and then it's going to create that mesh network to be able to have this large, robust wireless control system. You can see here, this is just out of the box, so you have some wire nuts, right, different screws that you need. And then this right here is the actual little tiny Athena node. So that's what they mean by it's really a coin size. You can see it right here, just protruding out a little bit, okay? So now this is a little bit of a larger system where you're powering it separately, okay? Powering it separately, but all in one junction box. This is by far the more common way to do it, because now you have both drivers housed in one single panel box, versus we also have it without auxiliary, okay? So in one of our small little OMNIDRIVE X's, show you here, this is just a 30 watt. Now if you notice here, it looks very similar to the OMNIDRIVE X, and now we just integrated that Athena Wireless Node into the OMNIDRIVE X. Now keep in mind though, you still have to power the Athena Wireless Node, okay? So you would still need to utilize this driver right here to be able to power those nodes. And so really you're supposed to keep that driver inside of a junction box. So now you would have maybe this somewhere farther down in the system design, and then somewhere, you know, maybe more in a centralized area, you would then have the drivers and a little panel box that would be powering all of the nodes. It just depends on the system design, but I would say though that this is the much more common way to do it in a centralized area, like in a mechanical closet. You know, you have a nice area where you're mounting all of the different junction boxes. This is where you're going to see this probably more 80 to 90% of the time in your system designs. So awesome. That's really it. Since it's just a driver, not too much more to talk about on that. So before we end it here, I always like to talk about the training opportunities. So keep in mind, okay, we now have a new section on the Diode LED website under resources. You can click training. It's going to take you to a landing page where you can check out the different training opportunities that we offer, everything from factory training. So if you are interested in coming up and checking out the factory, we've expanded a bunch here. All brand new, unique machines that we have now, a new showroom with all of our different products integrated into coves and different architectural details. We'd love to have you come up, reach out to your local rep. So let's see if we can get you on the schedule for either the end of 2025, or we'll be releasing all of the factory training dates for 2026 in early October. Okay, you can check out a quarterly virtual specifier training. You can get another customer of yours, if you're a rep, signed up for our reel-to-reels there. Once you sign up, you're signed up for the entire year and schedule. Okay, and then also don't forget to check out our Diode LED YouTube page. We have all of the past reel-to-reels uploaded there under one playlist, or the reel-to-reel series. I think we've done now 23 or 24 of these. We have a bunch more coming this year that are going to be on new products. We have the Light Lab series. That's where we're doing hands-on assembly. If you ever want to learn how to do neon blaze and cut it in the field, connect it, jump it, we have it. You want to learn how to do linear flex in the field, we have it, right? So different types of hands-on installation, all the way to even our Why It Matters series. And these are great videos where they're 3 minutes around there. They're extremely visual, and they're taking larger, more complicated concepts like CRI, ingress protection, tape light, even just why tape light matters, why channel extrusions matter, and then breaking it down in a simplified way. And why we wanted to create these is if you are dealing with someone going, oh, why wouldn't I go buy that 50 cent a foot tape light that's still 90 CRI? We break it down and explain how CRI is not all the same. So now you don't have to do that. You can send them the video, and hopefully they will understand by the end of this video why they should be focusing deeper and then just the typical 90 CRI rating. We also do, this is just a little snapshot of our Light Lab series. And then virtual trainings. We do everything from webinars, okay, like reel to reel, every month, 15 minutes. Our quarterly virtual specifier training every quarter. These are more like 45 minutes. We're going to be coming out with a bunch of new webinars in 2026. Also, we can do exclusive virtual trainings with your team. If you have a specific topic that you want to focus on, like installation best practices, we can set that up for you. So scan the QR code if you're not already signed up here, especially for our quarterly virtual specifier training. Okay, this is our little reel-to-reel series. You can find all the past videos on. And then field training. Okay, you can see here we do everything from classroom style trainings to training at Top Golfs. This was a really large one we did with like 90 people. These are not sales pitches, okay? These are actual trainings where we deep dive into topic-specific curated training modules. So we're not just talking about, oh, here's this product and here's the specs. We're talking about how to use that product, how to install that product, where you should mount it, different things like that. So we have a lot of fun too, though. We get to go whack some golf balls and drink some beers and eat a great catered dinner. And then last but not least is factory training. So I just wanted to show you a couple snapshots, everything from really hands-on assembly to checking out the different machines like our soldering machines and our connection machines and different things like that. You can see here, very focused there, getting deep in the installation. And then all the way to our engineering labs, talking about TM30 and light quality, to even showcasing some really cool different areas within the our Reno Operations Center. If you have any other questions that are product related, please reach out to info@diodeled.com. We'll get those answered up. We'll get you a sample in hand, whatever you need. And then I'm going to leave this up on the screen, okay, before everyone leaves. If you can take the time to just follow us on social media, this is going to take you to a link tree that's going to have our LinkedIn, Instagram, all the various social media platforms. We'd love if you could follow us. We're doing a lot of cool new updates on there and stuff. Support us if you can. It really helps kind of spreading the pertinent info out there. And so with that, though, I'm Cam. Okay, I'm the Senior National Training Manager at Diode LED. This was our reel-to-reel on the OMNIDRIVE X with the Athena Wireless Node. I appreciate you always joining us. I love what we do here for these reel-to-reels. I'm excited for the next one. We're going to have a new product that we're going to be talking about. And so with that, thank you, and I'll see you on the next one.